Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on Arrow Season 5. So as we saw in the mid-season finale of Arrow Season 5, or Episode 9 of Arrow Season 5, we got a lot of Prometheus, as we saw not only some setup in regards to his motivations and connections to Ollie's antics in the first season of Arrow, but also into who his identity could be, the face underneath the mask. Throughout the mid-season finale, we were led early on to believe that Justin Claiborne was Prometheus after Curtis, aka Mr. Terrific, was injected with a substance that Ollie had encountered earlier on in the times of Arrow Season 1, which we didn't get to see throughout that season. So it was something that Ollie did in between episodes. Now this connected to Justin Claiborne, who was actually killed by Ollie after slaying down a few employees of Claiborne along the way, which we actually saw Prometheus recreate in a pretty cool but also pretty horrific way. But after some ashes from Claiborne Industries were tested and actually turned out to be the remains of one Justin Claiborne, which then leads to Billy Malone finding a picture of a baby in Claiborne's office, who in the present day would be like old enough to chuck on a hood, mask and start throwing some shurikens into people. We were led to believe that this baby has grown up and actually become Prometheus. So is Justin Claiborne's son actually Prometheus? My response to this is no. Now please hear me out before you type anything in the comments section below, just because it helps out a lot. Thank you. But anyway, why do I think that Prometheus is someone else and not Justin Claiborne's son? Well, the reveal of it just felt weird. The events that led to Team Arrow putting together the link to Claiborne's son and Prometheus was way too easy. Prometheus has been extremely smart so far this season in regards to essentially using the members of Team Arrow, as well as supporting members around it, such as Quentin Lance, as pawns on his game of chess. He's the one moving them around, he's using them as his little puzzle pieces, if you want to call it that. So why would Prometheus allow Billy Malone to not only, go around Claiborne Industries and explore with such ease, but also send that image to Felicity? He waited until the moment straight after that the picture message was sent, until he jumped Billy Malone, which then led to that whole scene where he played with Ollie's head, which then leads to Ollie actually killing Billy, which is going to be another whole storyline in the back half of this season involving Ollie. Now I think the reason for Prometheus doing this is to play with Ollie and the rest of Team Arrow's heads. I just can't see how they are going to go through the rest of this season, which is another 14 episodes, keep that in mind, based around finding out the identity of Justin Claiborne's son. That would be dragging things out so much, like to an extreme level where, it's not even funny how long they're going to be dragging that out. Obviously there's going to be episodes in this back half of the season which have nothing to do with Prometheus. They're just filler episodes, if you want to call them that. Or they might be full-on flashback episodes. But even then, about 10 of those episodes have to be, contributed to the main storyline involving Prometheus. And that is a lot of story time to fill in regards to figuring out who is behind the mask when you already know it's the son of a certain person. In Season 1 of Arrow, we find out that Malcolm Merlyn is the Dark Archer in Episode 9 as well, or the mid-season finale for that season. However, Season 1 wasn't really about the Dark Archer. It was about the undertaking that was assisted by Ollie's parents. Ollie didn't have to only stop the undertaking first, then Malcolm, but also had to come to terms with the fact that his parents weren't really the people he thought they were. They just weren't very good people. And he was following this crusade in the name of his father when he realized his father was actually a part of the problem. Now this allowed them to go through the back half of the season pretty smoothly for the most part. There were a rough 1 or 2 episodes where you're not that good. But with Season 5 and Prometheus, there are more twists to come just because of the amount of episodes. These twists hopefully have to do with the identity of Prometheus. This planting of the Claiborne Jr. being Prometheus idea in Team Arrow's heads is most likely just another set in his playbook, with more reveals to appear along the way as we head to the season finale. Now, when do I actually think that they'll reveal the identity of Prometheus? Honestly, they could leave it to the last episode if they wanted to, like the pulling off of the mask. But just going by the track record that these CW shows have, they could leave it, maybe within the last 5 episodes, and we actually see the face of Prometheus. But then you got to wonder, would he even bother with the mask anymore after that? But we'll have to wait and see. Now, one other thing around this, which doesn't really affect me too much, but in regards to Prometheus's identity possibly being a disappointment, it has to do with so many people wanting it to be Tommy Merlyn. Now, I've seen a lot of people, and that's not an understatement, like I've seen a lot of people, not only on like social media, but in the comments of my videos saying, if it's not Tommy, I'm going to be very disappointed. I feel like this season's been a waste of time. Which is a bit rough. I think that's very rough to say. But I am on the boat where I think if it is Claiborne Jr., that is Prometheus, it might be a disappointment. Not necessarily if it isn't Tommy, because it would be pretty cool if it was Tommy, but if it isn't Tommy, it's not like I'm going to be, oh, okay, that sucks. But I think if they go along with this road where it's Claiborne Jr., that is Prometheus, then I think I might be a bit disappointed along with a lot of other people. Now, they could go down the road where Claiborne Jr., or Justin Claiborne's son, is a person that we've met before, and they just obviously don't use the last name Claiborne. If he did, you know, it'd be pretty easy to find. They could just type in Claiborne into some sort of database and find people with the last name Claiborne, born around that time. Which could be the case, and it would explain why Prometheus wears a mask and also a voice modulator. But we'll have to wait and see. It's either going to be that, which would be okay, I guess, if it is something cool, like a cool reveal of someone that we have met before, and we're like, oh my god, that's pretty cool. Or it's going to be an option where it isn't Justin Claiborne's son, and it's a throw-off by Prometheus, because he has been pretty smart, as I've said before, and it's going to be another person that we've met and interacted with before, and sort of wants to get some vengeance on Ollie. But thanks for watching, guys. Leave your opinions in the comment section below. Do you think that Justin Claiborne's son is still Prometheus? Or are you on the boat where you think it's another, you know, play by Prometheus to sort of mess with Team Arrow, and it is someone else entirely? If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like on it. And if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.